signing date right into it, and these guys got more done. We had a lot of meetings back during the dead period in recruiting, where none of us were traveling over the quote holidays, and we did a lot of football work, and there were a lot of things that came out of that meeting that we felt like we needed to do. I have never been around a staff that addressed more issues, adjusted more things, and adjusted them well than what this staff did this spring training. It was incredible, and it's going to pay a great dividend. So they were really, really special. We had, spring that was interesting. Kurt mentioned players, not plays, and really that was the theme all across the board, because to start with, schematically, we were going to teach some new things. So instead of teaching it in a team mode, which we didn't do a lot, we did a lot of individual and group teaching. We had a lot of players out. We had ones Jim mentioned on defense, Jordan, Ondijo, and Kenny Ananiki, and Kelby Brown, and Augie Campbell didn't practice a day. And we had other people intermittently hurt. So you had to be smart about your reps. On offense, we had Brian Moore and Connor Vernon, Desmond Scott, and Braxton Deaver that didn't practice. So again, our rotations weren't as normal as they might be in getting people work. So we really focused on a lot of individual drills, and it was incredible to watch players get better. A product of that would be a Blair Holiday. I don't know if I've ever seen a player jump forward like he did. Our quarterbacks, the individual time they got, they took advantage of it, but you could say that about every position. So I sat back and really in amazement and watched that as we went through spring practice. And I think because so many individuals got better, that we are coming out of this spring without any doubt in my mind the best team that we have a chance to have had since we've been here, because we got a lot of good football players. Now we got to throw it into a team mode, and I think we'll be adding a nice group, certainly with our incoming guys, but we're going to be adding a nice group, Coach Knowles, with the guys that were hurt. Just going to be so many more numbers out there. And I think you'll see tomorrow, and the way we're going to play tomorrow, you'll have your best offense playing the best defense, and vice versa. So you'll have kind of the backup defense teamed up with the starting offense, and the backup offense teamed up with the starting defense, and we're going to play a game. We won't have kickoffs. We'll place the ball on the 25-yard line. After scores, that's the touchback yard line, as you know now anyway. We will punt and place kick, extra points and field goals, so it's going to have very much the look of the game, so it'll be fun, and we're going to schematically use a lot of what we're doing. So I think all of those things are critical. I think the biggest difference in this team, as I see it, is we have more playmakers than we've had since we've been here on both sides of the ball. And you see guys flashing. There were guys making plays up front. Early, Desmond Johnson's pretty banged up, but early he's making plays up front. Jamal Bruce, Sidney Sarmiento's making some plays up front. Certainly the Austin Gamble was mentioned, and Kyler Brown, David Helton, and in the secondary, guys showing up everywhere. So that's been incredibly good. On offense, we got people playing every position capable of playing. We got 5 skill positions. And if you're a quarterback, if you're a receiver, you're a running back, you're going to be able to do it all. If you're a tight end, you're going to be able to do it all. Everybody in this offense can take handoffs, give them. Everybody can catch it, run with it. It's going to be a pretty unique approach in that regard. And you can't say enough about what our offensive staff's done. We may have 2 or 3 quarterbacks in the game at one time. But what I told our players and coaches, that my quest was find the best 22 football players we have on both sides of the ball this spring. And I didn't care where they had played before. And so as we have whittled through that, if 3 quarterbacks are in that top 22 on offense, they're going to play. If 3 running backs or 4 wide receivers or 6 tight ends. I don't care what they are, but they're part of the best 22 they're going to play. So a lot of positives in that regard. I'm excited, as Ron is, about the potential in the kicking game, and we'll see what that brings. But last thing I'll tell you is this. We've been pretty good here. But pretty good's not enough. We need playmakers that make great plays to win. We have to have great plays made like anybody else. Unless you're just way better than everybody else, you better have playmakers that make timely, great plays. Good's not good enough. Our schedule, you guys have seen it. You know what it looks like. We know what it looks like. And so one game at a time, we're going to dive into this thing and have a good time. So with that, I'll take your